Today's video is to extend the last video I did on the basic understanding of feel. So I brought the other woman in my life, Six, out today to help with this. Six hasn't had any real work for probably 12 months, maybe more. So I'm expecting her to be a little distracted, a little worried, show some resistance. And I want that because I want to show you how you can adjust your feel to help bring out some clarity to the horse and eventually working towards softness and a better response and a better relationship. So we're just going to do some groundwork exercises just to keep it really simple. But you need to keep in mind that these principles, they go through everything we do, from the way we catch our horse, patting it, putting on a trailer, picking up its feet, grooming it, saddling, riding, chasing a cow, going for a pleasure ride, anything. It relates to everything we do. So I'm going to talk about some of the things I talked about in the last video and use Six to help me demonstrate that. So let's keep it really simple and start with something as basic as leading. Now the purpose of the leading is that Six and I should be going together. So I'm going to ask her to come with me and see what I get. I expect her to be right there, but I'm prepared that she may not. So my first request, my first pressure, the first bit of feel that I offer Six is I'm going to walk. And she's a little late, so I'm going to pick up my feel and walk bigger. So I made an adjustment to try and help Six understand to follow my feel and go with me. The thing to do now is to check when I adjusted the feel, adjusted the pressure that I applied, did that get a change of thought with Six? So I'm going to ask again. Here's my polite ask. Much better. If I pick it up, does she pick it up? And I slow it down, does she slow it down? So by adjusting my pressure in the first instance, putting the feel to fill in the gaps of her understanding that she needed to go with me, then I was able to get a change of thought and help her understand what her role was there. Now if I ask Six for a backup, I'm going to ask her very politely and see if the picture I have in my mind is the same sort of backup she gives me. So I'll ask her here, there's a little heaviness, so I'm firming up. And now I'll try it again. Bring her forward, ask her again a little bit. Still late, so I firm up. I adjust the amount of pressure because I felt that she was going to be heavy and resistant. I'll ask her again. Little better. So both those examples of asking her to lead forward, asking her to back up, showed how you can change the degree of pressure to adjust for the feel that you want to present. You need to have a picture in your mind what you want as a result of the pressure, and then your feel comes in and you do just enough to get something pretty close to the picture you had in mind. So that's about the amount of pressure. What about the smoothness or the abruptness of pressure? So again, let's look at just that simple leading exercise. I ask Six to come forward. My first ask is simply this. I expect her to go with me, so I walk, just like if I was going with my wife for a walk, or you were going with a friend for a walk. You would just walk, just go to walk and watch it happen. So on that last occasion, I was pretty smooth and gave her plenty of time. Let's change it. Let's not be smooth. Let's be a little abrupt and see how it turns out. And you can see I was abrupt in such a way that poor Six here didn't have a chance. There was no way she was going to be able to follow my feel because I came in too quickly. And those things are important considerations. And you see it all the time in different ways. You see it the way people ask a horse when they're riding them to go forward. You'll see when they pick up the reins and ask them to stop. They just haul on the reins instantly without presenting any sort of soft feel on those reins to get a horse to be aware that something's about to change. If I take Six for a walk around here and I want to change direction, if I do this, there is no way she can be with me and ready. But if I walk like this and then go around the corner like that, she has all the time in the world and stays with me. So it's not that she doesn't want to stay and follow my feel, it's just that I don't give her a chance by being overly abrupt. That's an example of where you need to learn to be smooth. And even if you're going to be strong in the pressure you use, you can still be smooth. So this is an example where I'm going to apply more feel, more pressure, but I'm going to be smooth about it. So there I picked up the pressure by picking up my own energy, and I was much smoother, and Six was able to follow that feel and go with me. And this could be, again, in anything. You might need to get strong sometimes, but it's not that often you're going to have to get abrupt. Sometimes, definitely, but not a lot. And you need to learn to develop that sense of when you should and when you shouldn't. I've already talked about the influence that the amount of pressure or the amount of feel we apply influences the clarity. I've also then talked about how abrupt we are, how smooth we are in applying our pressure or our feel, and that's role in providing clarity to a horse. Now I want to just mention briefly the role of timing, the third element, and just demonstrate using Riley here how the timing of the feel I might apply to my inside rein can help direct his inside foot and give him clarity to how to execute those turns correctly. So I'll just walk around here for a moment and use my inside rein to direct his foot. So as I come around, if I apply my left rein just there, you can see the inside foot went to the inside. If I apply my if I apply my left rein here, now you can see how that affects the foot. Right rein, left rein. Now if I hold that inside rein, now hold it, now let it go, he goes straight after I let it go. So it's not just about the timing of the application, it's also the timing of the release. And that's something that people need to be really aware of too. The timing of the release, we all know that it's the release of pressure that gives a horse clarity. So you need to understand that the timing of the release is just as important as the timing of the application of the feel. This video is simply to show you how the way we use pressure, the magnitude of pressure, the smoothness, the abruptness, the timing that we use pressure, all influences the feel, for good or for bad, that we put between a horse and ourselves. And as I said, good feel is about good clarity, and horses need good clarity to feel okay. So the better skilled you become at using pressure, the more clear you'll be, the better your relationship. Good night, Alice, wherever you are.